Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If not, welcome back and thank you for supporting me. I'm Coretta. In this video, I will be showing how to use Cricut Design Space and the We Are Memory Keeper Cinch binding machine to create cute notebooks like these at home. Come on y'all, let's get started. For this project, I will be using 110-pound cardstock, vinyl sticker paper, glue. I will be using the 2.1 pitch binding coils, lined paper, a wire cutter, and a paper trimmer, and my cinch. I will leave a list of all of the items in the description of this video. So here I am in Design Space, and I've already uploaded the images that I will be using. I purchased the Afro Diva from Etsy, and I designed the cover image in Silhouette Studio Business Edition. You can either design your own cover in any software of your choice, even Cricut Design Space, or you could use any type of decorative cardstock for your cover. Okay, the first thing I want to do is to create my notebook covers. To create the notebook covers, I am going to select shapes on the left toolbar, and I'm going to select a square. Then I'm going to select shapes again on the left toolbar to close it. I am going to duplicate the square 2 times. So making sure that the square is selected, I'm going to go to the top of the layers panel and I am going to select duplicate, which is the second icon. I am going to select it 2 times. After duplicating the square, I'm going to move 2 of them out of the way for now to come back for later. Now I want to make a notebook that is 5 by 7 in size. So with the first square, I'm going to select it. I'm going to size this first square to 5 by 7. To size it, I am going to again select the square, and on the top menu under size, I'm going to unlock my proportion and I'm going to change my width to 5, hit enter, and then change my height to 7 and hit enter. So that I can easily identify my layer, I'm going to rename it. So making sure that the square is selected, I am going to go to the layers panel and I am going to right click on the highlighted layer. I'm going to select rename and I'm going to name this layer front cover. And hit enter. Next, I am going to size my cover image to 4.25 in width and 6.75 in height. So selecting my cover image, I'm going to go on the top toolbar and I'm going to unlock the proportion and I'm going to change my width to 4.25, hit enter, and change my height to 6.75 and hit enter. Now with the cover image size, I'm just going to position it on the front cover to see how it looks. So I'm going to bring this to the front. I'm going to go to the top menu and I'm going to select arrange and then select bring to front. And then I'm just going to position it. Okay, so I like how it looks right there. I don't want to center it because I want my holes to be punched, but I don't want holes punched into my cover image. Now with the front cover done, I'm going to create the back image, and the back cover. So I'm going to select both of those covers and I'm just going to move it down here so that I'll have some room here to work with. So to design the back cover, I'm going to take one of the squares that I duplicated and I'm just going to move it over here so I have room to work with. And with the square selected, I am going to go again to the top menu. I'm going to unlock my proportions. I am going to change my width to 7.4, hit enter, and then I'm going to change my height to 7 and hit enter. Then I'm going to take this last square and I am going to use it as a guide to help me to place my image onto my back cover. So selecting the image, I'm going to change the size to 5 by 7. Next, I'm going to change the color. So on the top toolbar under Operation, I am going to select the black square and I'm going to change the color to yellow. And then I'm just going to click anywhere on the canvas to close out. The yellow square is going to represent the front cover when the notebook is fully assembled. So I'm going to select the yellow square because I want to bring it to the front. So I'm going to select the yellow square, and on the top menu, I'm going to go to Arrange and select Bring to Front. Then I'm going to select both of the squares and I am going to align them. So I'm going to go to the top menu bar. I'm going to select Align, and then I'm going to select Align Left, and then I am going to go back to Align, and I'm going to align to the top. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Afro Diva image, and I'm going to position her onto the back cover. So I'm going to arrange her to the front by going to the top menu and selecting Arrange and Bring to Front. And then I am just going to position her. I'm going to position her kind of half on the back cover and half off the back cover without getting any of the image into the yellow part like that. I don't want any part of the image into the yellow. So I'm just going to position her like that. Once I'm satisfied, I am going to delete the yellow square. So I'm going to select the yellow square and hit delete on my keyboard. Next, I'm going to duplicate the Afro Diva. And to duplicate, I'm going to select it. And then on the top of the layers panel, I'm going to select duplicate one time. I'm going to move the duplicate out of the way because I'm going to save this for later as a print then cut image. Remember, once you duplicate it, you cannot resize it. Now I am going to select the square and the Afro Diva, and I want to weld them. So to weld them, making sure that the square and the Afro Diva is selected, I am going to go to the bottom of the layers panel, select Combine, and then select Weld. Again, so that I can easily identify my layer, I'm going to rename it. So selecting the layer, going over to the layers panel, so right-clicking on the highlighted layer, selecting rename, I'm going to name this back cover and hit enter. Now that I have everything designed and set up, I'm going to duplicate the front cover and I am going to duplicate the back cover. I am duplicating it so that when I glue the two pieces together, it's going to make my cover more sturdy. So selecting the front cover from the layers panel, I am going to go up to the top of the layers panel and I'm going to select duplicate one time. And then I'm going to select the back cover on the layers panel and I'm going to go to the top of the layers panel and select duplicate one time. Now I am going to go to make it in the top right corner. On this screen, I have 5 mats. The first 2 are my print then cut mats, and the last 3 are my cardstock mats. There is nothing to do here on this screen, and so I am going to select continue in the bottom right. On this screen, I am going to select send to printer. I'm going to select next. I am going to select my printer. And then I'm going to leave my bleed on. I'm going to turn on Use System Dialog. And then I'm going to select print. Once the System Dialog box opens, I am going to select my printer. I'm going to select Preferences. I'm going to change my paper type to HP photo paper. And then I'm going to change my print quality to best. And then I'm going to select OK. And then print. Once the image is printed, I am going to verify my print quality and then select Done. I'm going to select my second print then cut mat and I am going to send it to the printer and follow the same steps. Once the images have printed, I am going to select Premium Vinyl Texture as my material setting with default pressure for my print then cut. For my cardstock, I will select heavy cardstock with default pressure for my cardstock mat. I will get everything cut and come back to show you how I assemble the notebook. With everything cut out, I will begin gluing my pieces together. So I'm going to glue my front 2 pieces together and I'm going to glue my back 2 pieces together. Next, I'm going to add my front image to my front cover. Peel the sticker off. And then I'm going to align it. Next, I am going to add my image to the back cover. So peeling. The sticker away. I'm going to align her on the back cover. Now I have the notebook ready to assemble. I have my front cover and I have my back cover. I have my lined notebook paper that I printed at home on my regular inkjet printer using standard copy paper. I just cut it down to my desired size. that I wanted to use. I wanted my pages to be slightly smaller than my covers, so I cut each page at 4 3/4 in width and 6 3/4 in height. I am going to use a 5/8 binding coil wire, and I'm going to use my Cinch. The Cinch machine has all the features needed to assemble any notebook up to 12 inches in size. Some of the features are 12 pegs or hole punch knobs. You have your punch and cinching lever. You have the sliding measuring guide. So the measuring guide slides all the way out. You have an alignment peg right here on the side, on the left side of your machine. You have your wire binding hooks right here. And you have a cinching bar in the back of your machine. The machine also includes written instructions on the surface of the machine. So the first thing I'm going to do is punch the holes in my notebook paper. I've created stacks of 5. You can create stacks of 10. I know it says that you're not supposed to exceed 20 sheets of lightweight paper at one time. However, for my sake and my nerve's sake, I'm just going to do 5 sheets at one time. So I have my first stack, and since I have cut my pages slightly smaller than my covers, I am going to align my paper on the 1/16 line, and it is the second line from the left side. So it's the 1/16 line here, and I want to push the paper all the way to the back, and then while holding my paper in place, I am going to pull the lever down and then lift the lever back up once the paper is punched. I'm going to take the paper out, and then I'm going to pull the measuring guide all the way out, and I am going to align my second hole with the peg alignment, and then I'm going to push it down. Then, based on the size of my paper, I am going to pull out peg number 2 so that it does not punch a hole on the top of my edge of my paper. So I'm going to pull out peg number 2, make sure that the paper is pushed to the back. I'm going to pull down the lever and bring it back up. Then I'm going to release my peg alignment, and then I have my paper perfectly hole punched. When you finish hole punching your stack, you want to push in your measuring guide and put back peg number 2. Then you want to repeat the same process for your next stack. So my next stack, I'm going to align it up on the 1/16 line, push my paper all the way to the back, making sure that it is aligned correctly here. And I'm going to pull down the lever and let it back up. I'm going to pull out my measuring guide. I'm going to align my second hole, my second from the right hole, with the peg alignment. I'm going to make sure that my paper is aligned correctly. I'm going to pull out peg number 2, and then I'm going to push down my lever and bring it back up, release the peg alignment, and then I have a hole punch. Again, you want to repeat this process for all the stacks of your paper. And remember, once you're finished with each stack, you want to put back your measuring alignment and push in peg number 2. Now I'm ready to do my covers. So I am going to double check to make sure all my pegs are pushed in, right? And then I'm going to put my covers together the way you want them to be bound, right? So this is my front cover. And if I open my book, this is my back cover. So this is the top of my front cover, and this is the top of my back cover. So I am going to take my first cover, which is going to be my front cover. I'm going to put this down here. I'm going to take my first cover and I'm going to face it down on the machine, and I'm going to slide it all the way to the back, and I'm going to align it up with the measuring guide. And so I'm going to push it all the way to the back and line it up, and then I'm going to pull the lever down and then lift it up when it's punched. Pull it out. I'm going to pull my guide all the way out, and then I'm going to line up my second from the right hole with the peg alignment, making sure that it's pushed back. Making sure first that I get it aligned correctly. Okay. So it's aligned correctly now. And now I'm just going to pull out peg number 2 again, because I don't want it to punch a hole on the edge of my cover. And so I'm going to pull down and pull back up. I'm going to release the peg alignment and pull out, and then I have my holes. I'm going to push back in peg number 2, close up my measuring guide. I'm going to take my back cover, and this is the top of my back cover. I'm going to place the top of my back cover down, and I am going to push it all the way to the back, making sure that the edge is aligned with the measuring guide. And then I am going to pull down my lever and pull it back up. Pull it out, check my holes. I'm going to pull out my measuring guide, align my second from the right hole in my peg alignment, making sure everything is pushed to the back. I'm going to pull out peg number 2, and then I'm going to pull the lever down and lift it back up. And then I'm going to lift my peg alignment, and I have my next hole. And now I have my notebook, my covers punched. So now that I have all of my front cover punched, and I have my notebook paper punched, it is time for me to assemble my book. So I am going to count the number of holes that I have. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 holes, right? And then I am going to count out the number of binding coils on my wire. And I have 13 holes. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 prongs for my binder. And just to double check, I'm just going to put them in like so. So you can see I have 13 prongs for my binder. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to cut the binder right here in the middle. So I'm going to take my wire cutters and I am going to cut. Hold on, let me take the book off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I am going to cut right here in the middle. I'm going to cut it right there in the middle. And now I have 13 prongs for my notebook. So next I am going to place my binding wire on my hook, and I'm just going to take the U part here and I'm going to place it on the hook like so. So you place it on the hook like this, and then I am going to add my notebook paper to the wire like this. Then I'm going to add my front cover. And then I am going to add my back cover. I am placing my covers down this way so that when I bound the book, the seam of the coils will be on the inside of the notebook. Okay, so with the notebook on the coils, I'm going to remove it from the wire hooks, and I am going to turn the machine around this way. I am going to adjust the cinch bar to the size of the binding coils that I'm using. I'm using a 5/8 binding coil, and so you want to adjust your bar to 5/8 here. It's a little glare, but here. Let me get in closer. To adjust the cinch bar, you just want to push down and turn it so that you can put it on the size that you want it to be on. Next, I'm going to take the binding coils and I'm going to place it on the bar, and you want to place it so that the opening of the wires are pressed against the back of the machine. And then with it placed to the back of the machine, then you just want to pull down your lever. Hold on. Kind of need both hands so the machine don't move. So you're going to push down. Move my fingers out the way. You're going to push down on your lever. and then bring it back up, and then your book will be closed. And you just want to adjust it and fix it and punch as to make sure that it's all of the wires are closed. So once all of your wires are closed, then you could close your back cover, and then you have your notebook. Okay guys, here's my bound notebook and my pages. I think it is so cute. Oh my goodness, it is really cute. What you guys think? I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Tell me what you think in the comments. All right, guys, that's all for now. I hope that you were able to follow along with my process. If you like this video and would like to see more, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and consider subscribing to my channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can be notified every time I upload a new video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I will respond back. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video.